Welcome to Blessings Ideas. My name is Chesko and I'm going to take you today through how to create a component menu in the canvas of Power Apps. So this is my environment. I'm in my home of make.powerapps.com. So once you tap this link, you will come to this home page, and from the home page you have some couple of buttons here, and we will go with start with a page design. So I'm going to select a blank and then a phone, because you're going to develop a bottom menu icon, a menu actually. Okay, all right, my app is ready. Let me click on this and skip. Great, we are into our app, and you can have some templates here available. You can also have a Copilot here to guide us through, but we are going to click on components here on the screen. So I click on component. Now I come to my new component, I select a new component, and I create my component. So I call this, and rename it down menu. Okay, so I have my down menu ready. Now with the width of this, here is the weight, which is 640. So let me search for weight in the property 640. I would like to put it app dot design width. Select the design width. With this, it occupies the design width of the app, and since it is a mobile app or a mobile template you choose, it will fit exactly in. Now with the height, I would like to give it a fixed height. So with this, the height, I put it at 90. Great. Now that we have our component ready, let's try and add some controls instinct to this. So you go to the insert, you search for gallery, and we select a blank vertical gallery. Great. We go for title and subtitle in the gallery form. We select this. Okay, so it gives us some random controls in it. Let's see what you have. You have subtitle, you have title, and you have an image. That's great. So I don't need the subtitle, so I am deleting the subtitle. Now I have only title and then image. That's nice. So I select my gallery. I come to template size. It has some dynamic values formula. I'm just putting static at 90. Great. And the wrap count, I put it at 3 to be able to see 3 menu items over there. So now you can see you have 3 items showing here. So if the image, okay, before the image, let's add a background of this to make it identifying the menu that is selected. So also here I go to insert, I select a button, I send this button down by clicking on the 3 dots. I come to reorder and I go to sync to back for it to be at the back showing. So with this button, I don't need any text over there. So here text, I just delete it. The display mode, I select this and I put it on disable. Now that is disabled, the border, I don't need the border, so put it at 0. That's nice. Now I will need to change this color, the color of the background later on. whilst you have value in the menu to be able to display. But for now, let's leave it like this, and then let's work with the image. With the image control, let's go and get some icons. So I have this place. I'm not using actually the icons here or downloading any image. I have this website called uswings.com. Okay. So here I'm going to download some icons here and put it in my app. So we go, let's get something like home. Great. Let me select some nice one, the one I like. Okay, I like this one. So I select it, and I have the option to download it as PNG and SVG. And PNG is a bit heavier than SVGs mostly, so I will just go for SVG. And SVG is very easy to actually interact with in terms of changing the colors, while with the PNG the colors are static. So I go with the SVG. It has been downloaded. I have it here. So let me go to the folder, and here we are. Okay, now let me put this into Visual Studio Code and then try to arrange this, because this is a code. Okay, and we can put this directly into Power Apps. It won't help me on what I wanted to do. So I'll open Visual Studio Code. Let me bring it here, and let me just drop my downloaded file in. Okay, so here is the file as a code. Now it starts with an XML. I don't need this XML encoding, so I remove this. And then if I want this SVG to be displayed in Power Apps, this double quote will not help. So I need a single quote. So I go to here, select file, sorry, not edit. I come to find. Okay, so I search for my double quote, and I replace it with a single quote, as the way you see. Then I click on this replace all to replace all the double quote with a single quote. So I click on it, and great, it has replaced all of them with a single quote. Now I highlight all the text in it here by selecting Ctrl A, and I right click and I copy. Come back to my app. First of all, let's go to screen and show how an SVG display in the Power Apps. So I insert an image over here. I go to insert, search for image. Now here is an image control that I put in. And if I'm supposed to dump this code here, let me remove this and paste my code. You see I have an error. Okay, because it's a code, so let me just put a double quote beside it, and see, still the error is there because it doesn't work directly in Power App, and we need to encode it. And when you remember in the when I took the initial file and put it in Visual Studio Code, it was having some encoding at the beginning. We need that type of encoding tool over here for Power App to understand what type of image we are bringing in. So I'm bringing something similar to this. You see, let me quickly click on this. I remove this. I paste this code. So here is the code: data, image, SVG, XML, and then we encode it. So at the end of this, I just close the bracket, and now my image is ready and is displaying. And one thing that is good with SVGs is I can easily change this picture, this color here. So let me locate. You could see this SVG has only one single path, and this path starts from here and end at this place. So meaning I can customize this by giving a color and it will affect it. So let's try this by giving an CSS file, CSS code that is fill, put equal, put single line, a single quote, and let me put red. Great, it turned green, it turned red. So let me put it green, it turned green. So this is the good thing with SVGs, you can manipulate it in the app. And I want something like this so that when the user click and navigate to another screen, the color of the SVG dynamically change. Okay, we will do that later, but for now we can just remove it, and then we have our code ready. So let's get it and download the rest two icons that we need. So I need aside the home screen, I will need people screen. So people, let's see, yeah, I like this one. People, I go and download as SVG. It is downloaded, great. Take another last one, that should be documents. Okay, I select documents, which is not nice. Let me just select a single document and see what you have. Okay, I like this one. So I'm selecting this and I download SVG. All right, so we have our file. Let me go back to my download. I open my SVG. So first of all, you downloaded house. Now you have group, that is people. And I do the same thing. I go to edit, find. I already have it here, my double quote. And then you replace it with a single quote. I click on this. It has replaced all of them with a single quote. I remove the beginning of this that has SML. Sorry, let's go back. Let me see how long this SML is. Assume this is a full. Okay, this one we can't remove it, so we need to leave it this way. Yep, you leave it. Start with SVG. Sorry, so you can leave it like this. So I copy this. Okay, I can leave it this way. Let's add the third one, and we do the same. We go to edit file, edit, find, and we replace. Great. Now that you have replaced all, let's see this one to start with SVG. That's fine. Now let's come back to our design. Go to our components, adjust this image and make sure you have the item displaying. So you go to the image, let's see, the image is selected. I go to width, and the width of this image here give me a formula. I don't want this is too big. It's too big, so I just put it, let's adjust it to 180. Okay, it's a bit small. That's nice. And the height, okay, the height to here, that is meaning self parents, great. That is 115. So let me just reduce the height here. This actually 115 to 60. Right, now you can see our image control displaying the default value that it has. Great. Now the S of this, the S property, the X property here, it is set to 16. So I want this X to be this image control to be in the middle of that particular item in the gallery. So how do I achieve that? So I just put, first of all, parent dot, I go for the template width, select template width. Okay, now I reduce the, I did that, the weight of the image, so minus, it is image 1 dot width, select weight. Okay, Now it has come. Now I divide all this formula into two. Great. Now I can see my image centered in the middle. That's nice. Thank you very much. Now let me try and drag this a bit down. Okay, so this bottom, let me increase it to 74. And let me try and adjust it again. Okay, so let me put it at 80 and see. 80. All right, 80 should be good. 80 is good. 80. And then the width of this is actually like a background, you can say. So the width of this, come to width, I put it at 180. All right, so I can see the side of this menu item. Great. Now that these are set, let me add some value into this. So I go to the drop down. The component itself. I create a property. So I come to properties, custom properties, and I give it menu items. Great. So the description, menu items. Now it is an input, and then the data type is a table. So we are good. I create. Now I have this that is created over here, and I can search for this here, this new that you created by going to the properties here, and I see menu items. Now I have some random values over here. Let me try and format this text. So this random value, let me change them quickly. So I have here, let me give it name. This should be the name of the screens. Great. Then we have the icon or the images. So let me give it icon. And then you have screen. Then you have the last one. I'm giving ID. And I give it a number 1. Great. So if this, the name, let me give it, I have is a property management app, a real estate property management app I'm trying to create. So name, I give it property. And then with the icon, let me just put it as a string like this, so that later I'll edit it. And with the screen, I will call app dot active screen. I can't directly I can't call the screens right here from the component. That's why I'm doing this one here like this. And I'll give it an ID 1. So let me copy this, I highlight it and Control C, come back, I put a comma, go to another line and I paste it. And I want 3 items in my gallery, in my menu. So I do it again, comma, go under, I paste. Great. So the first one is property. The second one will be the owners. And then the third one will be contracts. Great. So the second one will have ID 2. The third one will have ID 3. Now, if the icons supposed to be the images that we downloaded in the US wing and that we have already with the code available in the SVG. So I select my first one, which is house, Control A, right click, copy. I come here, let me clean this, I paste it. Now, of course, it will have the error, so I make sure I have the encoding formula. So I can, let me put it beside it, encoding, and put it in quotes. Here I end the quotes and I close the brackets. Okay, I have my first one, which is home. I do the same for the owners. The owners, that should be the people. So group icon, I controls A, and then right click, copy, come into my icon on the second item, I paste it, and I gave it the encoding formula. Copy and I paste it here. I do the same. I close the quote and I close the bracket. Great. And then for the last one, which should be the document, Control A, I copy, come here, select this, I paste it, copy this encoding, come here, paste it, close this and close this. Great. Now I have my items ready for the navigation. I come to gallery, I select the gallery, and in the data source or the item, let me highlight this and call it down menu dot menu items. Great. Now I select the title, which has this item dot icon, and I give it name. All right, now you have names displaying. Let me centralize this. I come here, test alignment, centralize it. And I don't like the way when it is selected, it is bold. So I'm making sure, I want to make sure all of them are bold. Come to font weight. Let me remove this. Great. So I select semi-bold. Yeah, that should be fine. Now the image. Select it. You come to image. You have sample image. Let me delete. Okay. Now this item dot icon. Bingo. Now you can see our image is displaying. And some of them actually not showing well. So you go to image position, which is set to fill, and you put it to fit. All right, now the images are quite okay. So let's go back to our menu item and edit to be able to change these colors. So I come to my menu items. I give a fill here, like the way I displayed before. Fill equal, put single quote, and inside this single quote, I put double quotes, double quotes. Now inside this double quote, I put end sign, two end sign actually, to be able to contain a normal formulas over here. So if app dot active screen dot name, calling the name, if is equal to, put double quote, properties, if is equal to properties, comma, have a code color that I want to display. Sorry, not the code, it is a color. Then I'm using the S format, so 009 F94. So else this 7A. Okay, so close this bracket. Now let's see if it is displayed. Great. I have some color here that is different from the rest. You mean, okay, So the if statement return this value, which is this color, because property here doesn't match with what I put here, property, so it's supposed to be property. Okay, I made a mistake again, capital, so Y, there it is. Okay, so we do the same, so let me just copy this, come to the next one. So in the path here, let me give a space and I paste it here. So here, if it is owners, and I do it for the last one. Yeah, so here is the SVG that start and here is the path. So after this field here, put the code here and I change this to be contracts. Great. So let's see if what you put here display in. So let me delete this, add some couple of screens. Let me add another screen. So I have 3 screens. So the first one, I name it property. The second one, I'm double clicking on the name. I name it owners. And the third one, I put it contracts. Great. Now I want to add the components in the screen. So with the screen selected, I go to insert, I go to custom, and I have my drop down here. So my drop down is here. Let me drag it down, and you could see it has the color already in because this is a property screen. Don't want it again. Okay, so I come to owners. So let's try this. When I put it, you realize that the color changed at this position, but the rest are still in the ash color. So ash owner, sorry. I go to custom, I select the drop down. Here you could see the second one too has changed. Is now owner that has the color, while property here it has this one too. So add the same thing at contracts, go to custom. Great, now our code is working perfectly. Now let's put something here to identify the screens. So I insert a label at the top. Let me expand it, put the text into a middle, I make it semi-bold. I change the color to be okay, this, yep, and that's the fill, and the color itself to be white. Great. So let me change this to be property. Now let me copy this. I come to owners, I paste this here, adjust it, and I give it the name. Sorry, double click, owners. Great. Come to contract, I do the same, I paste it, then I change the name to contracts. It's for us to be identifying the screens. Great. Now we go back to our control and make sure the rest are working. So what do you do next? You try and edit the navigation to be able to navigate from the screens by clicking on any icon here. So when you come to the screen, let's play this. When I hover the mouse over here, it doesn't give a feel of it is a clickable something. It just hovers something like this. But if it was a button, it will show a click icon instead of this arrow. So I'm going to add another button over here. Go to button. Great, that should be overlaid. Sorry, I made a mistake. I delete this. Select the gallery, go to edit gallery, then I add the button. Great. Now I adjust this button on the screen. I remove the text and I want it to be transparent. I remove the border weight too and the fill property, assign it to transparent like this. Great. Now I change the hover to, it has a formula. Let me clean this formula. Okay, so I have this. Great, I believe this is okay now. So now you could see it shows this. Let's see in the screen. Great, now it is showing something like this. You could see I have the icon has changed to something that is pointing actually. Okay, so come back to our component. Let me just adjust it for it not to be too over, even though it doesn't display here. But all right. Now, when you select this button, let's add it the navigation. So on select the navigation. Now, mind you, we can't give the navigation directly from here. So we need to give it a static formula on the navigation to be navigate, but it will be this item dot screen. So it pick the screen name and navigate to that particular screen for us. And when you check the drop menu, the screen have app.active screen, because you can't call the screens that you have over here in the screen directly over here. So when you deploy when you finish, then you go and initiate that over there. Now, as we have this, we give, let's create another input property that I will call item ID, to be picking the ID for me and identify the screens. So I select the component, go to properties, new custom property, I put item ID, so it is an input property of a type number, and I create. Now I have it, the default value is 100. Let me put it to 1. Great. One thing also we need to do and make sure this color on this to reflect. So once we are on a particular screen, let the colors match each other. So what you do over there, you go to this, you select the color of this. It is set to be black, and you put an if statement here. If this item dot id, you have the id already, if is equal to the new id that you created, down menu dot item id, if is equal to me, meaning we are on that screen, so give us a color. So I have a color code. Let me just copy this and paste over here. Give me this color. Else, let me copy another color code that I have. Else, this color, and let me close it. Okay. I believe I'm not mistaken. So if is this color, all right. This color will not work. So let me bring another color set code. So I put this color rather. Yes, exactly, that is it. And if this, let me change the RGB to 1 to 2. We are 1 to 2 to 2, 1 to 1 to 2. Nice. So we need to do the same thing for the background button too. Okay, so let's select this, we copy this, we go to the background color, we go to the fill of this. So let me search for fill, the fill, sorry, the disable fill, actually disable fill. I have this, I control A and I paste this code. Okay, so this one I change this color to be 222 255 255. All right, that's nice. Now the default value is too deep. Let me put it a bit light, 244. Okay, now we are good. Now let's see in the screen. Great. Now, okay, we have not added the navigations yet. Great. Now you can see that whilst on the property screen, everything is highlighted nicely. So let's come to the second screen. Okay, this is not yet highlighted because the item ID is set to 1. So let's come here, select the item ID, let's put it to 2 to reflect owners. Okay, it came, we go to contract, the menu, the item ID is selected 3. Nice. Now we need to give the menu items in this particular screen. We have to change it to match the screens that we have now. So here it should be property. So property, the owner, here too it should be owners, that is the name of the screen that I have, and then the last one is contracts. So come here, select contracts. Great. So I need to do that for all the rest, so I just Control A, Control C to copy it. I come here, let me look at this menu, Control A, and I paste this new one. I go to the last one. Okay, I select the menu, yeah, then Control V, and I paste the last one. So let's see if it works. Here, come to owner. Great, we are in the owner screen. I go to property, and we are in the property screen. So here we are with our component ready and working. When you come back to the component, you could see you have some couple of things. You have a gallery that contain other controls. But when you come to the screen, you have one control only here. This is a good advantage of this. This will help you minimize the number of control you are using in your app, because this also contributes to the performance of the app. Thank you guys, and see you another time for another episode. Bye bye.